So this is the third visualization that we want to create, the third worksheet, which is going to be a table, and it's going to show days attended and the actual average journey time for each of those days attended. So for example, you can see students who attended 3 days on average last week. Their journey time was on average 70 minutes. Now the way that we do that is we're going to use days attended and journey time, or we're going to drag them onto the rows and onto the label. We have to keep an eye on the measure that we're going to use, which is going to be the average measure. And you'll see here, it won't quite be right unless we actually change the data type of days attended, because Tableau will have thought that it's a continuous measure when we really need it to be discrete. Now by default, hopefully it will turn up as a table when you drag those in, but of course you can select table from the Show Me panel. Once we've done that, we'll adjust the size, change a couple of the names of things, and hopefully we'll end up with something that looks like this. So let's switch to Tableau now and see how we actually create that table. Let's create the third visualization, which is a table. Now in this instance, we're going to be showing the actual figures for days attended and journey time. So I'm going to use the days attend measure here, and we want that to be on each of the row indicators. So I'm going to drag that up there. But of course, what's going wrong here is that it's doing a calculation over days attend. What we really want that to do is we want it to be the dimension. So I change it to a dimension. There's something else that's going on a little bit subtle here, which is if you look at the hash color here, you can see that's green. That's indicating that it's a continuous measure. And for this to work, we don't want these numbers to be treated as if there's value in sort of 4.5 or 4.6. We want these to actually be discrete. So I'm just going to tap on here and change the type to discrete. And against that, we're going to show the journey time. Now, journey time is shown here with the measure journey minutes. So I'm going to drag that. I'm just going to drop it on the label. There we go. Now, it's not quite right because the calculation that's being done over that is the sum. And of course, what we really want is we want that to be the average. So I'll just change that to average. There we are. Nearly there. We want it to be a table, and it's not quite right. So let's just have a check here. We've got the dimension. You can see that days attend hasn't actually changed to be discrete. So I'll just change that to discrete. There we are, I've got it now. That's better. So we've got our basic table with the number of days that students are attending and the average journey time. So again, I'm going to configure it. I'm just going to change the size to fit the entire view. Now I know that looks rather large at the moment, but it doesn't matter. We can edit some of these measures. So I can, down here, I can simply rename that. There we go. Let's call it days attend. That's a bit nicer up there. I can change the sheet to show something like days attended and average journey time. Average journey time. Oops. And down here, I can fix the name of the sheet. So I'll just call it days table. There we go. And that's the third chart. So I'll just save that. And in the next part, we'll show how you can combine all those things together inside a dashboard.